Kari Lake will not stop doing everything she can to break down our democracy, cast doubt on the election results, because when you really think about it, this is all motivated by the fact that she is a sore loser. I'm going to show you a clip of her insisting that certification shouldn't have happened and pretending as if, and we'll cover this more extensively in the future as she continues to spread these lies, there's some way that she's still in this or something. But first, to give you a little bit of the news on this, Arizona has certified the election results in their state, as Kari Lake has been fighting. Now she's going to do some legal challenge and pretends like that keeps things alive. But take a look at this from the Associated Press. Then we're going to get to this bonkers clip of her. Arizona's top officials certified the midterm election results Monday, formalizing victories for Democrats over Republicans who falsely claimed the 2020 election was rigged. The certification opens a 5-day window for formal election challenges. Republican Kari Lake, who lost the race for governor, is expected to file a lawsuit in the coming days after she spent weeks of criticizing the administration of the election. Indeed. And so we'll, of course, cover that lawsuit, but don't be concerned. Katie Hobbs is going to be the governor, and Kari Lake will just continue to scream like Trump did in a sore loser fashion. Now, here is Kari Lake appearing on her favorite show, the Steve Bannon War Room podcast, which is a very dangerous show for sure, and continuing to spread these lies. Take a look at this.
How possibly can a Republican attorney general sit there and a governor sit there and allow this fiasco? People in Arizona have to understand something. Independents and Democrats, you look like idiots on the world stage. This looks like something that would happen in the worst of banana republics, Kari Lake.
Yeah, I mean, the optics in just a little over an hour, the optics of them sitting there and signing their signature. Can you imagine, to this sham election?
Can you imagine doing what every single state government does every single election? What an abomination.
They did it back in 2020, 2 years ago, and many of us gasped and said, how could they do this? Why couldn't they give more time to look into all of the issues? Now, fast forward 2020.
Why couldn't they have let Rudy Giuliani challenge more of the election results? Come on, guys.
To today, and we've got more issues than we saw in 2020 in that sham election. We have just a blatant sabotaging of Election Day, a disrespect, a disregard, a disenfranchisement of Election Day voters. And if they sit there and sign their names to this sham certification, history will never forgive them. They will go down as three of the very worst in history.
Now that we know.
I'm going to let you, before I respond, listen to Steve Bannon just respond to this and continue the record-breaking level of derangement on this topic, and just watch how conspiracy theorists think and talk. It's very fascinating.
Oh, and by the way, we're at the top of the first inning, getting to the bottom of the FBI, the DOJ, and I think CIA involvement, intelligence apparatus, and law enforcement apparatus involvement in the coup d'etat in the 2020 election. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, they all knew we had the receipts. This is the thing you have to understand. We were wiretapped. They read our emails, all of it. They knew we had the goods. They knew this is not just about a corrupt and incompetent media. It's about this. In 2020, how does the Elon Musk, the release of this, what's happening on President Trump's 2020, tie directly to what's going on in 2020?
We'll stop it there, but of course connecting it to the non-bombshell, the bombshell that wasn't a bombshell in that Twitter files drop that we discussed. But there, when he talks about the 2020 coup, he's not talking about Trump's attempted coup to stay president of the United States when he lost the election. Trying to stay president when you lost the election. That's the coup. No, he's talking about some story that's floating around, likely, I don't know, I assume something he read on freedomeagle.org or something that told him the whole election was rigged, and claims that cannot be proven in any official manner. And every time an audit is done, every time investigations are done into these claims, every single court case, they just haven't been proven true, but yet they continue. And one of the things I've talked about with these types of conspiracy theorists' minds is, for the audience, it actually gets easier and easier to have them believe these lies, because you can reference past lies that you've already convinced them of to bolster your current lies. So what they're doing now is saying the 2022 election was as bad as the 2020 election. And that makes all of their viewers and audience members go, oh no, Kari Lake, she's such a victim. Poor her, she didn't actually lose. When in reality, all they're saying by saying that this election was as bad as the last one is saying it was good, because the last one was free and fair. This one in 2020, I mean, was looked at and broke down so to the nitty-gritty more than most elections in the past, because of the constant claims and the checking of those claims. And it was proven to be the correct truth based on the evidence that it was a very free and fair, very secure election. But of course, for people who cannot accept that they lost and care more about their own pursuit of power and their own ambitions beyond and above our democracy, they'd rather continue making these claims regardless of how truthful they are. Very, very dangerous stuff going on with Kari Lake.